So you're dreaming of flying one of these bad boys behind me, but really your budget allows you to fly one of these. Hey everybody, Brock with HHM back with you for another video, and today we're talking about the do's and don'ts of flying a drone. We're going to talk about where you can fly it safely, how high you can fly your drone, and give you all the tips. Stay with us. Hey everybody, Brock back with you from HHM, and I have the privilege of having Ryan Bauer here at the Fort Wayne Airport Authority. He works in the operations office. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us today. Ryan's going to give us some great tips on how to fly your drone safely, what protocols to follow, what instructions. So we're here to gain a lot of great information for those of you that might have a drone and fly it around. I want to give you those tips so that you can do it in a manner that's safe. So we're going to get started. When somebody has a drone, what are some things that they generally need to think about as they start flying it around?
Sure, well, they should be thinking about the drone and where they're flying. So if they're near an airport, they should be notifying the airport and the air traffic control tower, as well as following the general safety procedures that are out there for drone operations.
Now, we have a drone and we certified it with the FAA. I don't know if certified is the right word, but we registered it, I guess, with the FAA. Is that something that everybody should do?
Yeah, I highly recommend that. There's a couple ways to go about that, and one of those is by going through what's called Part 107 operating rules. I recommend that because there is an enhanced level of safety as well as a little bit more options for where you can fly.
So you get registered with the FAA with the drone. Obviously, there's certain airspace that you cannot fly in due to, airports, airplanes, air traffic in the area. What's the general rule with that?
Sure. So flying under what's called the Part 107 rules, you would be prohibited from flying in controlled airspace. Here at Fort Wayne, that's within 5 miles of an airport. So you would need to get special approval, authorization as they call it, prior to operating here at Fort Wayne.
And then, as you're flying the drone, I mean, some of these drones have amazing capabilities as far as altitude and height. What's the rule there as far as how high you should fly a drone?
So the max altitude is 400 foot. For special business reasons, they do allow for higher with special approval.
Okay. All right. And special approval, when would something like that come into play?
Sure. When if you want to, exceed any of these waiverable standards, which would be line of sight within the drone during daylight hours, near other aircraft, in controlled airspace, or in or above stadiums or large masses of people.
Okay. With large gatherings or masses of people, do different rules apply then for a festival or a concert or something like that?
Yeah, the FAA does do a lot to kind of stay a little fuzzy on that, but they do let the user identify masses of people, and if you're flying over top of them, you need to be aware that something could happen with the drone, and if it were to fall out of the sky, it could injure people severely. So I always urge people to err on the side of caution and either get people to be already waiving their right to be flown over or go through the FAA.
Okay, perfect. And if somebody wants to take the next steps, you're getting into something where you might do it for a career or to make some money on the side. I mean, is there a pilot certification or a pilot program that somebody can go through?
There are. There is. It's a remote pilot certificate, and what is involved with that is it's very similar to the airman's examination for a pilot. It is a computer-based test, knowledge test on aeronautical information. You need to be 16 years or older, pass the test, and then you submit your application into the FAA and you get a remote pilot certificate just like a driver's license.
Well, Ryan, thanks so much. That's a lot of great information. Hopefully you guys found that helpful when you're out there flying your drone, some tips and tricks to stay safe and stay compliant. If you have any tips or tricks when you're flying a drone or how to utilize one better, we'd love to see those in the comments below. I want to thank Ryan again. I want to thank the Fort Wayne Airport Authority for being with us. This has been Brock from HHM. Thanks for joining us.